Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got a special one out on the bench today, or at least a special one to me just because for the fact that I've had so many of you all request this rifle review on the channel. This, as you can see, is one of the Thompson center compass rifles. As you guys know, these things are super popular right now, basically just due to the price point. And from what I've seen, read, and heard, these things are extremely accurate for what they are. So that was one of the things that kind of drew me to this to the beginning. So kind of the plan for this is going to be maybe a multi-part review. We're going to start off with just a basic factory rifle as you see it here. This thing was less than 300 bucks, guys. And I'm going to go over some of the features here in a little bit and let you guys see the scope we're going to use, talk about some of the ammo, and kind of go from there. But I wanted to kind of keep in line with the budget feel of this. Like I said, guys, it's less than $300. So would I go ahead and throw, $1,000 Leopold on it? No, and I don't think any of you guys would either. So I want to see what kind of accuracy and what kind of performance we can get out of a rifle like this using a budget scope. This right here is a Simmons Whitetail Classic. I got this off Optics Planet. I think it was like $100 shipped, guys. And I mean, just looking through it, I mean, granted, it's $100 scope. It is what it is. And I mean, I get that, but I just don't think it's realistic. A guy going and throwing a $500 or $600 piece of glass on a scope like this. I just don't see it. So is what we're going to do is we're going to see what kind of accuracy and performance we can get out of it with a scope of this caliber. And we're going to shoot a few different groups, factory ammo, 110 yards, 5-shot groups, and see where we're at as kind of a baseline. And then possibly later on down the road, may do some reloading and see what kind of performance we can get out of it, actually throwing some custom loads through it. Now this rifle itself, it's got a lot of features just out of the box for less than 300 bucks. We're talking, it comes with the 2-piece scope base, which we're going to leave on there for testing. The barrel is threaded. This one is chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor, so it is 5/8 24 threading, so we can suppress it. They tout this as being 5R rifled. The trigger is adjustable. I have not adjusted it out of the box, so we're going to shoot it completely baseline as it came from the factory. So let's check, double check clear here, and we are clear. Let's get a pull weight on that trigger and see what it's at right out of the box here. Okay, so we're a little less than 5 pounds. So let's try it one more time here. Let's see what we got. And about the same. We're going to call it about 4.5 pounds. So they say that you can get it down to about 3 or so. So in subsequent videos, we may play with that a little bit, but I think this is just going to kind of be a really interesting review process here. What kind of accuracy and performance can we get out of a non-heavy barreled rifle with a kind of a budget-minded optic, which I'm not going to lie, guys, optics are expensive. Those Leopolds are very expensive and some of the other brands, and we don't have money to throw around on every rifle that we have. So something like this, you're not going to throw a scope like that on there, I wouldn't say, just for this is more or less a hunting rifle. So I suspect something like this or maybe another cheaper brand would be more, I guess, realistic as far as what this rifle is capable of. So I'm really interested to see what that can do. This does have a 22-inch barrel. The box mag is detachable. It uses kind of like a rotary style inside of it. So I'm not too sure on that, how that's going to last or work, but it should be fine. The spring pressure on the clip seems to be adequate. Flush fitting, so again, this is going to be touted as a hunting rifle, but cool thing about it is it is threaded, so we'll probably end up getting some suppressed data from this rifle as well. The barrel is, I would call it a little more than sporter contour. I've got my calipers here. Let's see what kind of contour we do have. Okay, so we're right at about a 0.65 at the muzzle. So a little more than sporter, but it's by no means a heavy contour. So needless to say, we're going to get this scope mounted up, and for testing, I've got some Winchester, this value pack stuff. This is like 60 rounds. I think this was less than $50 a box. 125 grain open tip range ammo. So we'll see how that does. Some hunting ammo, this Deer Season XP, this 125 grain Winchester stuff. So that'll be kind of representative of what this rifle's probably made for to begin with. Some of this USA Ready stuff. This is 125 grain open tip select grade. I've shot some of this in 308 and it did not perform that well, so it'd be interesting to see what it does in Creedmoor. And of course, we're going to throw some match loads through it just to kind of see if we get any increase in accuracy. This is the 140 grain Winchester match boat tail hollow point. And then my favorite 6.5 Creed load is the Sig Sauer OTM Elite Performance. This is 140 grain OTM match bullet. So we're going to try 5 rounds of each of those. And no, I'm not going to let the barrel cool. It is what it is, guys. I don't have time to sit back and just let it cool down after each group. This way, once you get it, if you're firing, you know exactly where it's going to stand as far as accuracy goes. So we're going to get the scope mounted up in a set of Leopold rings. We'll get it back to the hide and start putting some rounds down range, fellas. All right, guys, we're back here at the hide. We've got the TC compass on the bench. We've got 5 rounds loaded of the Winchester 125 grain open tip, the value pack stuff. We're going to shoot 5 rounds down to 110 yards. We've got our other 4 loads we're going to try as well and kind of just see what happens. So stand by and we'll see how she does. Bolt is a little gritty. Ejection is very good. So, I would like to mention the magazine itself does hold 5 rounds, so that's actually pretty cool. Most of these hunting rifles, they'll only hold 3, so you're getting 5 rounds plus 1 in the chamber if you so choose to carry it like that. So that's kind of neat. The action itself does tend to feel a little gritty. Granted, like I said, it is a less than $300 rifle, so I mean it's not going to be perfect, but full 5 rounds, so you can't beat that. We're going to try the SIG 140 grain OTM. The magazine does seem to fit very nicely. It's pretty positive. All right, so and there goes the scope cap. Nice. Last shot, SIG, OTM. Wow. Wow. That is crazy. Guys, this is basically a sporter barrel, and it shot that SIG into what appears to be sub-MOA. Wow. All right, so, and that's even with our generic scope cap flying off. Can't beat that. All right, so let's try 5 of this Winchester USA Ready. This is the 125 grain. This is open tip. Decent looking round. It is cantilured. Winchester brass, so if nothing else, it's good reloading fodder. But this was like $13 a box at Bass Pro, so I wanted to definitely give it a shot. 3, 4, and 5. I'm really stoked that this thing holds the full 5 rounds. That's pretty cool. Like I said, most of them do not. So let's try 5 of these. Let's see what happens. The initial group with the 125 grain Winchester, the white box. Oh, wow. It wouldn't even chamber it. Huh. Ooh, I don't know on that, fellas. Let's wow. I don't think I'll be buying any more of this ammo, fellas. I'll show you why. Here is this round here. Get my camera to focus. Mini ammo review here for you guys. But the actual length of the case is significantly longer on this piece here, the one that would not chamber. So I am, there it goes. I am not going to shoot these. Wow. That's interesting. Okay, well, we're not going to shoot that. We're just going to move into the Winchester Deer Season XP. So we're going to set those aside, fellas. I don't know what the deal with that was, but let's try 5 of these here. And these have 125 grain extreme point, as they call it. That's really the first time I've ever had any issue with Winchester ammo. It's kind of concerning, but we'll see what we can do here. Let's try 5 of these. All right. Oh, that one got away from us. Still not bad, not bad. That's 125 grain hunting load. For you deer hunters, that could be definitely something to take a look at. Now let's try 5 of this Winchester match, which I've had very good results out of in the past on a few different rifles. couple of these here. This stuff is the 140 grain boat tail hollow point match. All right, so let's try 5 of these at 110, fellas. I do expect a little bit of fluctuation as the barrels start to warm up as well, but yeah, it's starting to throw these a little bit. Alright, so it definitely gives us a little bit of data to go off of. Let me grab the camera. I'm going to get you guys another close-up of the rifle itself, and then we'll go down and take a look at our target real quick. Alright, so the that Winchester USA, that's kind of a bummer. I was wanting to see how well that shot, but I just don't feel comfortable shooting rounds that one of them won't chamber, so we're not going to mess with that. So that was kind of interesting. But all right, so the overall feel of the rifle itself, the action, cycling it is a little rough, I'm not gonna lie. Again, guys, this rifle was less than $300, so I mean, it's kind of to be expected. The bolt, I do not like the bolt. When you're into the rifle actually on the cheek comb, I mean, you got to really rip this thing up to get it to come up. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but it does work. The trigger, I do like the trigger face of it. The trigger face is very smooth. It's easy to get a good purchase on that. It is a little heavy, but we can take care of that. So we'll have to see how that does. The barrel itself is free floated, and no discernible touching in the stock itself setting on the bench rest. That could come into play if you were using a bipod. That's why I shot this off of the bench rest, just to kind of give an idea. This rifle came in with the scope. I mean, it's a little less than 9 pounds for the entire setup, so a guy could use it for hunting. It may be a little heavy for some, but let's go down and take a look at our accuracy here, which I know everybody has already seen, but I'm telling you guys, we've got less than basically $400 in that rifle, and that's including the scope and a set of those Leopold rifleman rings. And we're getting, I know we've got one really nice group. I even seen it through the scope, so I'm really stoked on this little rifle. As you guys know, whenever we can get budget-minded stuff that performs, oh man, it just gets you kind of excited. And I'm like you guys, I know you guys have requested this rifle for a while, and finally was able to get my hands on one, so I've been pretty excited to see it as well and see how well it'll do. But let's see here. Okay, so all right, that's that 125 grain Winchester white box right there. Here's the Deer Season XP. We've got a cloverleaf 3-shot group right there in the middle, and then these two outliers. That's that 140 grain Winchester match. Again, granted, that's after the barrel had heated up, but look at that right there. 5 shots, 110 yards. Guys, that's factory ammo, That is why I like that SIG ammo right there. Look at that. My thumb covers the entire thing. These are 1-inch squares. That is sub MOA 5-shot group with a sub $300 rifle, guys. That is insane. you want to talk about getting excited about a rifle again. That right there will do it quick, let me tell you. I've been kind of stagnant here on the channel about getting excited about some stuff, but I tell you right there, that really kicks it up a notch. So like I said, this is going to be part 1. We're going to do at least a 2-part series on this rifle here, because I want to get maybe some hand loads worked up for it. I know some guys have had some really good results loading up 140 grain match projectiles over top of Reloader 17. So I want to try that too and just kind of see what happens with it. But right there, factory ammo, guys, sub MOA, 5 shots from the bench. That is insane. And we've got less than $400 in the whole package. So you want to talk about precision on a budget. But if you got any questions on this, please feel free to post them up. Stay tuned. We're going to get part 2 going sometime this, hopefully within the next month and a half or so, and kind of go from there and see what else we can get out of this little rifle. But definitely shoot me a message over on the Facebook page. Hit me up on Patreon. We've got that up and going. Every little bit helps, guys, and I really appreciate it. And as always, shoot straight. Later.